Isang magandang umaga na naman sa ating lahat at I hope ay naka-tune in kayo sa ating klase for today. May mga bago na naman tayong pag-uusapan ngayong araw at sana ay ma-excite tayo kahit na tayo ay nanonood lamang through FB group. Alam kong malamig ang panahon ngayon, pero sana ay hindi nanlalamig ang ating relationship. So for today discussion, we will be talking about Relationship 101. Narito ang ilang mga katanungan tungkol sa relationship. Kumusta ang relationship mo sa ibang tao? Gaano nga ba kaimportante ang isang relationship? Should I stay? Or should I let go? I hope ay may makuha tayong lesson na naman sa ating pag-uusapan ngayon dahil since we will be talking about a relationship and it's still part of social self. Sabi nga natin sa mga nakaraang discussions natin that being a human, you need to really socialize with other people. And that is why importante na malaman natin kung gaano kahalaga ang relationship natin sa ibang tao. So, I hope you are all ears for today at hindi na kayo natutulog dyan sa inyong mga kama dahil kailangan ko ang inyong atensyon. Okay, so sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay relationship. Sakto malamig ang panahon ngayon. But anyway, regardless of our weather for today, pag-usapan natin to, okay? So this is relationship part 1. Okay, part 1 pa lamang ito. So what are the objectives? Okay, so here is our objective for today. We have to define what is really relationship. We have to explain the key aspects of interpersonal relationship. We have to identify the types of relationship, and of course, we really need to understand that relationships matter. So those are our objectives for today at sana ay ma-meet natin sila ngayong araw. Bago tayo magtungo sa malalimang usapan tungkol sa relationship, let us first define what is relationship. Okay, sabi dyan, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, okay, relationship, it is the state of being related or interrelated, studied the relationship between the variables. Okay, so meaning class that relationship always have what we call interrelated, meaning there is probably a common denominator sa inyong dalawa or sa ibang tao. It may be an interest, no? It may be you have the same feelings or mutual thing with each other, something like that, na kung saan mai-relate mo yung sarili mo sa ibang tao. Okay? What else? The relation connecting or binding a participant in a relationship such as kinship, okay? A specific instance or type of kinship. Meaning, when we talk about kinship, we are talking about a connection between one person to another, okay? There is really, what do you call this? Interrelation doon sa dalawang taong yon. Pwede rin siyang sa grupo, okay? May iisa kayong, let's say, hangarin or interest. Something like that. Okay? Another meaning for relationship is that a state of affair existing between those having relation or dealing had a good relationship with his family, a romantic or passionate attachment. So, we can say that when there is what we call relationship, meron tinatawag tayong attachment. Pwedeng sa family natin or maybe sa ating partner in life. So, that is class relationship. Okay, now let us define class what is interpersonal relationship. Okay, kasi ito yung mahalagang aspeto ngayong araw na dapat nating pag-usapan. Our interrelationship. Okay, sabi dyan, class, an interpersonal relationship is a meaningful dyadic connection in which two once independent people, two Varying degrees become interdependent, exchanging in communication by exchanging information of a more or less personal nature, developing a shared history, and responding to each other's needs. Okay, so I have highlighted there the words na mas madali nating maintindihan at maunawaan kung ano nga ba ang interpersonal relationship. First is what we call the meaningful dyadic connection. So, tayong mga tao, class, sabi nga, no man is really an island. Okay, so we need to really form a connection, a dyadic connection, meaning if you if you are this person, so you have connection to your parents, you have connection to your siblings, you have connection to your classmates, you have connection to your friends, you have connection to your teachers, so on and so forth, and connection to the community. Okay, so it becomes what? An interdependent, meaning that you need other people to be related. Okay? Meaning, you need to connect. You need to agree. You need to, at some point, disagree. You need to really grow with other people. Okay? So, dito pumapasok class yung tinatawag nating exchanging in communication. Relationship needs to have an exchange communication. Okay? Looking back to our previous topic about, how to have a good communication with other people. Talagang, mahalaga nating isipin that in a certain relationship or whatever relationship is that, there should be an exchange communication, whether it is verbal or non-verbal. Kasi hindi tayo magkakaroon class ng we cannot relate to other people if we do not communicate. So mahalaga talaga class yung communication. Okay? So sa communication na yon, nagkakaroon ng what? Exchanging informations. Not just an information, but most likely it could be an ideas, it could be an emotional attachment, no? It could be something professional, whatever it is. So, nagkakaroon class ng exchange. Meaning, I give this to you, you give it back to me. So, doon na nagkakaroon ng connection ng bawat isa, and doon na build class yung relationship. Okay? So, sabi dyan, developing a shared histories and responding to each other's needs. So, the reason why we wanted to really connect with other people or relate with other people, because at some point, class, no, each of us has a basic needs. And part of our basic needs, class, is to really communicate with our fellow humans. Okay? So, ganun ka-importante, class, that we should really relate to other people. We should not isolate ourselves, no? We have to grow, and we need to be, at some point, interconnected with the society. Okay? So, that is an interpersonal relationship. For more definitions of interpersonal relationship, though na-explain ko na kanina sa unang slide, okay, it is an interdependence between two individuals, okay? It can be two or more people, okay, na nagkakaroon ng interdependence. We are also interdependent with our family. We are interdependent also with our friends, okay, with the community. So, that is interpersonal relationship. What else? Nabanggit ko na rin to kanina. We are exchanging a verbal or non-verbal messages between two people who have relationship and are influenced by their partner's messages. Of course, kung paano tayo class tratuhin ng ibang tao, that is also, we are being also affected by that kind. So, minsan sabi nga, may mga kasabihan na kung paano mo ako ituring, ganun din kita ituturing. So, that is why, if someone shows you affection, ikaw na magiging affectionate ka na rin dun sa tao. Why? Because there is an influence from that kind of exchange information or exchange of messages. Okay? So, yan. Now, class, there are several types of interpersonal relationships, okay? So, unahin na natin, class, yung tinatawag natin, the family. Of course, importante, class, yan. That family, that we should have really a connection with our family. Sometimes, yun yung mga nagiging problema ng mga kabataan ngayon, no? Mas engaged na sila more on sa social media. And yet, nakakalimutan natin, class, that one of the most important relationship that we should build is our connection with the family. Okay, so when we talk about family, we are talking about the small social group bound by ties of blood, okay? Pwedeng kaduggo mo, no? It could be your relatives, okay? Civil contract, so most likely, halimbawa, nag-asawa ka na, so at some point, you are connected to the relatives of your husband or your wife, okay? And a commitment to care for one. So when we talk about family relationships, there is really a commitment for that. Meaning, kahit anong mangyari, family is a family. Sabi nga, blood is thicker than water. So, pagkadugo mo talaga, dapat nandun na yung strong affection natin. Nandun na yung care talaga natin to really relate with them. Sabi nga dyan, sa quote na shinare ko, no, that friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, everything has an end, okay? Family, it has I, so meaning I, L, love, and Y is you. If you love your family, sabi dyan, click like and share. So, habang nanonood kayo ngayon, I hope you could like our video for today. So, importante talaga that we really care for our family because pwedeng mag-end yung relationship mo to your friend, pwedeng mag-away kayo, magkaroon kayo ng disagreements, at hindi nyo maunawaan ang isa sa isa, pwede rin sa boyfriend or sa girlfriend nyo. But, when it comes sa family, class, mahirap i-stop kung ano ang meron kayo. Kahit nga minsan, hindi ka natutuwa sa nangyayari sa family mo, nagkakaroon, class, ng tinatawag natin na broken family. But when we talk about really family, it should be really given an important thing sa buhay natin because family is family. Okay? Now, let's move on with another type of interpersonal relationships. And alam ko naman, lahat tayo ay meron nito. That is friendship. Okay, so friendship, it is a close and caring relationship between two people. Okay, it is perceived as mutually satisfying and beneficial. So, mahalaga talaga, class, that we have also friends. Friends that we can lean on, friends that we can share our secrets, no? Friends that we could share our burdens to each other. Something that would really satisfy, our needs and beneficial. Make sure lang, class, that when you choose your friends, make sure lang that it would really help you to grow. Okay, it won't bring you down. Kaya nga minsan, hindi maiwasan kasi yung tinatawag nating mga bad influence. So, you really have to choose your friends. Why? Because when you choose your friend wisely, at some point, it will help you to develop a more and capable individual. So, talagang we should really know how to pick. Hindi naman sa nagiging choosy tayo sa kaibigan, but alam natin kung sino yung dapat nating puntahan, sino yung dapat nating kaibiganin. Okay, baka kasi mamaya kaibigan ka lang kapag may kailangan. Like, for example, alam niya na malungkot siya, ikaw lang pupuntahan. Pero pag masaya na, nakakalimutan ka na niya. So, mahirap yung ganun, class. Maganda meron tayong talagang kaibigan that no matter what happen, ups and downfall moment of your life, ay talagang nandun siya. Kung meron kang ganung kaibigan, you really have to treasure it. Sabi dyan, many people will walk in and out of your life, but only true friends will leave footprints in your heart, according to Eleanor Roosevelt. So, mahalagang isipin natin, class, that true friends are those who really leave a footprints in our heart, who will really touch our lives, who will really help us to grow as a better version of ourselves. So, dapat talagang pahangalagaan natin yung mga ganong klaseng kaibigan. Okay? Next, type of relationship is that romantic relationship. Ayan, romantic relationship. So when we talk about class romantic relationship, we are talking about love, of course. Love is one of the finest and basic things that we really should have in a romantic relationship. Okay, love, okay, a deep affection for and attachment to another person. Okay, it is an intimacy, closeness, and understanding of a relational partner. So when we talk about romantic relationship, dyan papasok las yung affection, dyan papasok yung tinatawag nating intimacy. Okay, yung nandun yung closeness. And do not forget the word understanding of a relational partner. Meaning that kahit na magkaiba kayo, okay, as an individual, because no one is alike, so we are really unique with our own self. Kahit magkaiba kayo, but if this kind of relationship is romantic, there is a strong affection, there should be a love, there should be a closeness, and of course understanding. Hindi mawawala yun, class, because that is one of the foundations, no, for a stronger relationship, yung understanding, yung love, yung respect mo sa partner mo. Okay, so mahalagang isipin natin yung, class, at dapat ma-practice natin, hindi lang sa ating partner but also sa mga taong nakapaligid sa atin, class. And that is why having a romantic relationship, no, it's really important that you really have to protect it, okay, care for it, and fight for it, because mahirap makahanap ng the one, sabi nga nila. Okay, so when you have that kind of the one, someone who is really, you see, as a lifetime partner, no, kailangan mahalagang isipin natin, class, that this is not just basta you just love that person, but there should be a really strong commitment. When we talk about commitment, okay, later on mas mapapag-usapan pa natin siya ng mas malalim, kaya nga may part 2 pa to, klase, itong relationship, because it's really a broad topic, no, to understand really relationship. And when it comes sa romantic, maraming nagkakaproblema dito, class. Why? Because they engage much, okay, on being in love and not growing in love. That is why romantic relationship should not be revolving in just romance. Okay? Hindi lang yon basta romance lang. It should be greater than that. Okay? So, I have a quote there to share to you. Okay? According kay Jackson Brown, sometimes the heart see what is invisible to the eye. Okay? So, kapag ang puso nga, sabi nga sa kanta, kapag tumabok ang puso, wala ka nang magagawa kundi sundin ito. Okay, so that is just a song, but what the quote is trying to say is that when we use, okay, our heart, nakikita natin yung mga bagay na hindi natin nakikita noon, and na hindi nakikita ng mata natin. Kaya nga, mas nag-grow, mas nagkakaroon ng deeper understanding. Dapat, kung talagang totoong sinusunod natin ang puso natin, class, dapat nagkakaroon ng deeper understanding doon sa tao, so that you don't easily give up with what relationship you have right now. Okay, so another type of interpersonal relationship is we have what we call the online relationships. Since we are living in a technology nowadays, so we have this kind of relationship online. So that is virtual, hyper-personal communication. Okay, meaning that is talagang ito yung mga bagay na ginagawa natin to relate with other people. Okay, that is an online. Sa Facebook, we have Facebook friends, no? Sa Twitter, meron tayong may mga groups tayo na sinasamahan. May mga iba't iba tayong mga fan page na binubuo, no? Why? Because we have in common thing. Pwedeng online relationship mo, for example, kayo yung mga tao na kung saan bumubuo ng fan page, for example, ng mga BTS, okay? Mga Korean dramas, okay? So, marami yan sa Facebook. Isa sa mga sinasalihan kong mga um, online thing is yung mga sa K-drama and mga lakorn. So, ayan. So, mahilig ako sa ganon. And of course, yung mga movies. Ayan. So, meron akong online relationship. So, I have friends online na kung saan they share with me those movies, dramas that are beautiful. And they also recommend us kung ano yung dapat panoorin, bakit panoorin mo to, ganyan. So, doon nagkakaroon kasi ng tinatawag natin class na online relationship. Okay? Sana ay hindi lang tayo mag-focus class sa online relationship. Lalo na ngayon, talagang lahat ay puro tayo technology, social media. Dapat mas bigyan pa rin nating pansin class yung family, yung friends, okay, yung romantic relationship natin kaysa sa online relationship. Kasi kung dun tatakbo yung ating buhay sa online relationship, hindi tayo magkakaroon ng mas malalim na communication sa ibang tao. Okay? And of course, lastly, the type of interpersonal relationship that we will be talking about is the working relationship, okay? Sa mga nagtatrabaho dyan, mahalagang meron tayong tinatawag nating working relationship. Why? Because it is a relationship between the people who interact because of their work. Also, a level of cooperation sufficient to allow work to be done, progress to be made, etc. A functional or effective relationship. The work should be really a building relationship. When we talk about a building relationship, meaning professionally nag-grow kayo pareha. So, importante talaga sa trabaho yung ating working relationship with our co-employees, with our employer, no, there should be a cooperation there. It should be functional and effective. The reason why people quit their jobs, no, because if we will take a look back with our past lesson na nakita natin doon bakit nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating social exit. Okay, remember those word class na kung saan nade-degrade siya, na nagkakaroon ng stagnant sa kanyang work, nagiging tawag dyan, na i-stress siya masyado, baka kasi hindi na nangyayari yung tinatawag nating working relationship, meaning hindi na siya nagiging effective and functional. There must be really a cooperation in a working relationship. So, yun lagi yung tatandaan natin kapag nasa field na tayo ng trabaho. Talagang importante class, you really have to become professional, and of course, you have to set aside what is family and what is work relationship. Okay? So, that is the types of interpersonal relationships. We have family, we have friends, we have romantic, we have online, and working relationship. Napag-usapan na natin class ang iba't ibang uri ng relationships. Now, the question today is how important are your existing relationships? Mahalaga nga ba ito that relationship really matter? Okay? Why are they important? Bakit kailangan pa nating makikonnect sa ibang tao? Okay? Hindi ba pwedeng tayo na lang mag-isa? Ang hirap nun class kapag inisip mo siya na ikaw na lang, you don't try to connect with other people. So, it's really hard to grow. So, these are the questions, class, that we really need to answer. Okay? Now, sabi dyan, why relationship matters? Okay, why relationships matter? Okay, bakit nga ba talaga nagmamatter itong relationship na to? Okay, first is that, sabi dyan, we need connections. Okay, we need connections. We human need personal connection. In fact, having effective relationships positively affects mortality. People devoid of meaningful relationships are more likely to fall ill and die. Imagine niyo class. No, if you do not build relationship, most likely class, kayo yung more likely daw to fall ill, nagkakasakit, or somehow the worst thing is to die. Of course, ayaw nating mamatay class ng maaga, no? Kaya nga importante class that we need connections. We need other people to grow. Okay? Because when we try to connect with other people, there is what we call the positive effect psychologically, no? So, nagkakaroon class ng mas mahaba pang buhay kapag alam natin class na we are in a good relationship with our parents, with our friends, with someone na minahal natin. So, nagkakaroon ng joy, ng gladness sa puso natin. So, most likely, class, we enjoy living each day. Kahit nasabihin natin, class, na yes, may mga difficulties in life, but when we try to connect with other people, when we try to love other people, when we personally get in touch with them, no? So, nabubuhayan tayo. Okay, nagkakaroon tayo, class, ng lakas to really go on with our life. So, importante yun, class. That's why relationship matters because we need connection. Okay? Next is that, sabi dyan, relationship fulfill ends. Okay? So, relationship daw fulfill different ends. Whether we connect digitally or face-to-face, the relationship we form fulfill different ends, okay? For instance, a relationship make different demands on us depending on its context. It is whether we are doctor-patient, professor-student, work, friendship, or romantic relationship. Okay. So, meaning class, the reason why relationships matter because there is a fulfillment. Both of you have this kind of different end to fulfill. Example natin dyan, class, is yung doctor and patient relationship. Okay. The doctor needs to fulfill his duty as a doctor to treat his patient. While the patient, his duty to his doctor is to really follow what the doctor told him to do so. So, nagkakaroon kasi na tinatawag nating fulfillment in a different end. Meaning, magbe-benefit to sa akin, magbe-benefit din to sa kanya. Okay? Importante yon. Aside from that, mahalaga din that mayroon tayong na-achieve, class. Both parties, no, ay may na-achieve individually sa kanila. That is why we try to connect, we try to get ourselves be related to other people because meron tayong makukuha at the end of it. Okay? Kahit na hindi siya maganda or maganda man siya, at the end of it, ang mahalaga dun, class, is you try to connect yourself with other people. You don't live for your own self. So, there is what we call fulfilled in different ends. Okay? So, that is why, class, it really matters because, sabi ko nga, no man is an island. It's really hard to be on your own. So, talagang kailangan natin ng ibang tao to really grow because being with other people will benefit us not just physically, psychologically, and above all, spiritually. Dapat you really both grow with each other. Okay? For our last topic today, we will be talking about relationships meet needs. Kaya nga, di ba kanina, napag-alaman natin bakit ang relationship nagmamatter. It's because we need connection and there is a fulfillment in both ends. Now, relationships meet needs. So sabi dyan, according to theorist William Scott, we meet our needs for inclusion, control, and affection through friendships, work, and romantic relationships. Okay? Scott's theory, fundamental interpersonal relations orientation, highlights these needs and offer insights into the reasons we decide to initiate, maintain, or end a relationships. So, class, pag-uusapan natin for today is the theory of Scott's, the fundamental interpersonal relation orientation. So, dito, sinabi niya yung tatlong bagay na naibibigay nitong relationship sa atin. Okay? So, alamin natin ang mga ito. Okay, so the first relationships needs is that the need for inclusion. Sabi dyan, class, that inclusion, it has to do with varying degrees to which all needs to establish and maintain feelings of mutual connection with other people. Okay? It is a sense that we take an interest in others and they take an interest in us. We want others to pay attention to us, to take time to understand us. Okay, so when we talk about the need for inclusion, okay, ito yung namimit natin that we should really meet. The reason why we try to engage ourselves with other people because there is a need for inclusion. Meaning that we need to really there is a need to maintain feelings, sabi dyan, of mutual connection with other people. Gusto natin, class, na magkaroon tayo ng mutual connection sa ibang tao. Kaya ka nga minsan nagbibuild ng friendship sa ibang tao. Kaya ka minsan nai-in love because you want to build a mutual connection with other people. Kaya ka nagtatrabaho, class, kasi gusto mong maranasan sa sarili mo na maging belong ka doon sa work na pinagtatrabahuan mo. Okay? Now, what will happen, class, kung hindi natin makuha yung tinatawag natin, class, the need for inclusion? Okay? Yung the need to become connected with those people. Sabi dyan, class, if excluded, we may suffer from FOMO. Are you familiar with FOMO? Okay, FOMO is it a fear of missing out, meaning you are afraid that you will not be accepted by everyone. You are afraid that people don't like you, okay? Or kaya baka sila okay na sila, ikaw hindi ka pa rin okay, something like that. Natatakot ka na may fear na mamiss mo tong bagay na to kasi sila lang yung belong doon sa ganung group. So, sometimes na-experience natin yan na, ay, baka hindi ako belong dyan, baka kasi mamaya ayoko sumali dyan kasi hindi naman ako magaling sumayaw, baka mamaya ma-OP lang ako. So, minsan, nagkakaroon tayo, class, ng ganong klaseng feeling, no? So, importante talaga na magkaroon tayo ng inclusion na we feel to ourselves that we are also belong to that certain group. Okay? Or kaya naman, we feel to ourselves that that person accepted us or loved also us. So, importante yung inclusion na tinatawag. Sabi dyan, if inclusion need is satisfied, kapag na-satisfied to that you feel, you maintain the feeling of mutual connection with other people, is there is what we call the feeling of worth and fulfilled. Meaning you feel that you are worth it, you are accepted, you are also being loved. Kasi ang sarap sa pakiramdam, class, kapag nararamdaman mo na mahal ka din ng taong yun. Nararamdaman mo that that person really care for you. It means, alam mo sa sarili mo na importante ka doon sa taong yun. Okay? So, importante at mahalagang malaman natin na magkaroon tayo, okay, ma-feel natin yung inclusion, okay, sa relationship. If unmet, again, if unmet, ano kaya mangyayari? Feeling of loneliness. Nagkakaroon tayo, class, ng lungkot sa mga sarili natin kapag hindi natin naramdaman, class, yung mutual connection with other people. Nalulungkot tayo, natatakot tayo na baka hindi tayo tanggapin ng ibang tao because of who we are. Natatakot tayong i-share yung sarili natin sa ibang tao. So, nagkakaroon ng mixed emotion, class. Kaya, dapat, class, we have to help someone to feel that they are also worth it. Dapat maramdaman nila yun, class. Hindi lang sa family natin, hindi lang sa friends, no? But even sa mga stranger, ma-feel nila that they should be respected kahit hindi kayo ganun magkakilala. Pero once na in-approach ka niya, treat him in a humane feeling, no? Itrato natin sila with respect, with love, whatever, or whoever, whatever status he or she she has in the society, no? We really have to make them feel that they are belong. Wag nating i-out of place yung mga taong nakapaligid sa atin so that hindi nila class maranasan yung tinatawag nating feeling of loneliness. Ang worst thing na pwedeng mangyari class is yung ma-feel nung taong yun that he is not worth it to be loved. Kaya nga minsan class, if you observe, bakit may mga tao nagpapakamatay dahil lang sa, for example, a relationship that they have, no? Kasi hindi na nila class nararamdaman yung tinatawag nating inclusion. Hindi na nila namimit yung certain need na yun, na to connect with people. Feeling nila they are so detached from those people around them. Kaya they choose to end their lives. So sana wag natin iparanas sa mga taong yun. At habang may buhay nga, we have to show them our love. Okay? The next is that we have what we call the need for control. Okay. So, sabi dyan, control deals with the need to establish and maintain satisfactory level of influence and power in our relationship. To varying degrees, we like to believe that we can take charge of situations when we choose to. Okay, so there is a need for control. The reason why we try to connect with other people because there is what we call control. Control deals with the need of what daw. Anong sabi dyan? Based on the highlighted words, establish and maintain satisfactory level of influence and power. We wanted to feel that we are in control with the situation. Na meron tayong kakayahan, class, na panindigan yung commitment na ginawa natin sa ibang tao. Okay, we have this kind of control. Hindi ko sinasabi na maging controlling ka na, oh, wag mo tong gawin, wag mo, ito ka lang dapat, something like that. No, ang sinasabi dito, class, na need for control is that meron tayong capacity to really take charge of the situation, that whatever happens in that kind of relationship, we can handle it well. There is a confidence sa sarili natin that we can handle it well, okay, that we are, tawag dyan, matured enough to handle this kind of commitment, and we can, take in charge of the situations na pinili natin. Halimbawa, pinili mo kunyari mahalin yung taong yan, hindi naman talaga yan yung for you that is not ideal. He's not your ideal man, but you choose to love that person. So at some point, nagkakaroon class ng control. Nakokontrol mo yung sarili mo kung paano mo inuunawa yung tao. Dahil pinili mo yan, nakokontrol mo yung sarili mo at yung feelings mo din sa ibang tao, kung paano mo ipinapakita yung kahalagahan niya sa part mo. So, gano'n, nagkakaroon class ng need for control. Now, what if this control is unmet? What will be the thing? No? Sabi dyan, we may conclude that others are failing to respect or value our abilities, and they are viewing us as incapable of making sound decisions, directing others, or taking charge of our own future. If we do not get this need of control, no, meaning the confidence to handle the situation, the confidence to make you feel that you can really commit to other people, no, feeling natin, class, nagkakaroon tayo ng at some point, hindi tayo, sabi nga dyan, incapable of making sound decisions. Kapag na-feel mo na yung ibang tao, hindi nagkakaroon ng tiwala sa'yo, hindi fully committed sa'yo, so nahihirapan kang i-control yung mga bagay-bagay. Affected nito, class, yung decision making mo. Feeling mo, class, you are doing something because other told you to do so. Wala kang tiwala sa sarili mo at maybe wala din tiwala yung ibang tao sa'yo. So, paano mo i-handle yung mga future relationships or future commitments that you have in the future? Diba? So, ang hirap, class. Kaya mahalaga na ma-feel natin yung control sa relationship. Okay? Makita natin kasi yung ability natin. Kasi, hindi maiwasan, class, na magkakaroon talaga ng disagreement sa kahit anong uri ng relationship. Okay? So, kapag hindi mo to nakuha, minsan, makakapagsabi ka ng katagang parang wala akong kwentang tao. 'Di ba? Bakit? Wala kasi yung confidence mo na to really commit. Wala dun yung confidence ng ibang tao para sa'yo na gawin yung bagay na yun. Kaya importante na you really have to support the system. You really have to support that person, and you really have to support yourself in handling that kind of relationship. Okay? Because the need for control is really important, no, sa isang relasyon. And for the last is the need for affection. Okay, sabi dyan, it involves our need to give and receive love to experience emotionally close relationship. Okay, need for affection, mahalagang maranasan natin sa sarili natin, no? Na we give love and we also receive love from other people. There is what we call emotionally close relationship. Importante na mabuo ito. Una, saan dapat natin to ma-feel the need for affection? Sa ating family. Because if we do not have this affection from our family, ang tendency, we seek the love, the affection that we want sa ibang tao. Minsan, ang nangyayari, sa maling tao mo pa na. Nakikita yon. And ang ending, sometimes na-waste lang yon. So, ganun ka-importante, class, na ma-feel muna natin sa sarili natin the need for affection coming from our family because they are our main support team. Ika nga, whatever happens in your life, family is really the one that na kailangan mong una mong dapat takbuhan sa tuwing nahihirapan ka sa mga situations. That is why love in the family, if you have this kind of love, if you feel that kind of love and support from your family, I think you are more capable of loving other people. No? So, importante talaga that we feel loved and be loved by others. Okay? Sabi dyan, if unfulfilled, kapag hindi natin siya na-met, okay? Itong klaseng this kind of affection, okay, we are likely to conclude that we are unlovable. So, ayun nga, magkakaroon ka ng, at some point, self-pity, feeling mo hindi ka worth it, feeling mo hindi ba ako mahal-mahal. Naalala ko yung sinabi na Liza Soberano sa isang movie niya, My Ex and Wives ata yun, if I'm not mistaken, na pangit ba ako? No? Sabi ni Enrique, hindi. Then why? Bakit mo na feeling saktan yung taong yun eh? So, mafe-feel niya nun. Bakit? Kasi yung affection na supposed to be dapat ma-feel ng tao coming from you, ay hindi niya naramdaman, class. So, importante talaga yung affection na maramdaman niya that he is being loved and also so that he could love more. Pag naramdaman niya, class, that mahal talaga siya ng taong yun, I'm really sure that that person could really give more. Okay? So, what else? Kapag hindi siya na-meet itong affection na to, emotionally detached from us. Pwedeng yung taong yan maging detached sa'yo or lumayo sa'yo. Kaya minsan, huwag ka na magtaka, bakit may mga relationship na hindi nag-work out? Bakit may mga relationship na ikaw na lang yung pinipili mong ilayo yung sarili mo doon? It's because you don't feel affection anymore. Okay? So, importante kasi talaga na in a certain commitment, you really have to be attached. You really have to become devoted to that kind of relationship that you have. Kasi, kung sakaling dumating man sa point na mapagod ka magmahal, at least hindi mo basta-basta i-give up. You don't easily choose to detach yourself from other people. Okay, kaya talagang importante na you give time, you give effort, and you are committed to whatever relationship you build to other people. Okay? Sabi dyan, if fulfilled daw, okay, we are comfortable handling both close and distance relationship. Ayan. So, kapag na-feel natin, class, yung affection sa isang tao or sa ibang tao, class, mas nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag natin comfortability. You are comfortable with that person. The trust was built, no? and of course the respect. So kahit magkaroon ng distant relationship, it would work. Why? Because you know that that person really show love for you and care for you despite of the time, despite of the distance that you have. And also mostly recognize that not everyone with whom we connect will necessarily care for us in the same way. So sorry, if we really feel that we meet this kind of affection, we are in control of this kind of relationship, um, nagkakaroon class ng tinatawag natin na assurance, hindi lamang sa sarili natin, pati doon sa taong karelasyon natin. That even na magkalayo kayo, no, hindi mahalaga sa na kahit hindi kayo nag-uusap araw-araw, you know that both of you are assured that you are being cared by each other. Okay? So, ang sarap sa pakiramdam, class, na hindi mo kailangan tawagan, i-text, anong ginagawa mo, ba't ka ganyan. Nagiging paranoid ka, class. Nagkakaroon ng control, you are being uncontrolled kapag ganun. Napaparanoid ka na, ay baka may tinetext na siyang iba or may kausap na siyang iba. Hindi love yun, class. Okay? Kapag ganun na yung relationship mo, it means hindi na kayo growing sa isa't isa. Hindi na nararamdaman doon yung totoong love talaga na supposed to be dapat maramdaman ng taong yun. Kaya, ang tendency, no, nagiging paranoid ka, hindi ganun yung love. Love should really have the trust. Love should really be patient. Love is really long-suffering. Love should really had a strong commitment that is for better or for worse, whatever happens, no. So, talagang kahit in distant kayo sa magkaibang mundo man kayo, no, nasa malayo siya, hindi mo ibe-base yung love sa text lang. Kung araw-araw ba siyang nagte-text sa'yo, hindi mo ibe-base yung relationship, yung growing relationship, kung lagi siyang nagre-remind sa'yo everyday, kung lagi kanyang sinasabihan ng I love you, no, hindi magiging basehan yun, class. Yung pagsabi ng I love you everyday dun sa taong karelasyon mo, yes, it as at some point show a simple show of love, pero hindi mo dapat ibase yun doon. Dapat, when we have relationship, we exercise it every day. We exercise the love, we exercise the respect, we exercise the care for people, okay? So, mahalaga talaga that in having a relationship, whatever type of relationship is that, you really have to give your 100% and be fully committed to whatever relationship you have so that you won't easily give up in that kind of relationship. Okay? So, in conclusion, okay? So, ito yung ating mga conclusions. Okay, for conclusion, class, of this topic, sabi dyan, these needs are not all met at the same time. Again, I cannot guarantee you that when you enter in a relationship, you will have the control of everything. You cannot control everything, class. Iba yung iniisip niya sa iniisip mo. Iba yung nararamdaman niya sa nararamdaman mo. Okay? So, these needs are not all met at the same time. Hindi siya sabay-sabay na mangyayari. Pwedeng maunat tong isang need na to na ma-fulfill bago ito. Okay? So, yon. So, mahalagang malaman natin, class, okay, ito, for a review, that in inclusion, sabi dyan, in inclusion, in or out. Okay? So, isang bagay lang yan. Kapag na-feel mo ang inclusion na tinatawag, it means you feel that you are into that kind of relationship. So, nagkakaroon ng stronger bond. Kapag na-feel mo na belong ka nga talaga doon. Kapag hindi naman, so, out of place ka. So, sana ay wag nating iparamdam sa mga taong nagmamahal sa atin na they are being out of place. Na hindi nila alam kung anong lugar mo sa buhay niya or anong lugar niya sa buhay mo. Okay, so mahalaga yung inclusion. Second is the control. It's either top or bottom. Meaning that if you are really fully committed, you will have this kind of confidence to be on top of the situation. Whatever commitment is that, whatever problems, circumstances na kaharapin mo, if you have this kind of in control of the situation, then you could be at the top. Okay? You can handle it well. Or else, pwede itong mawala sa'yo. Next is that we have what we call the need for affection. And what is affection? When you feel affection, there is more likely to become close and then getting closer to each other. No, mafe-feel mo na kahit pasabihin nating malayo kayo sa isa't isa, kapag na-build nyo yung strong affection, no, mas nagiging close pa kayo despite of the distance that you have. At kung hindi man, most likely, ikaw yung tao that you would easily give up and you will detach yourself from others. So those are the needs, class, that we need to meet in having a relationship. Inclusion, control, and affection. I hope ay may naintindihan tayo sa araw na to at nawa ay may mag-grow pa tayo sa kung anong relationship meron tayo. Whether it is a family, a friend, an online, or a romantic relationship. Okay. So, for the general conclusion, in both contexts, we connect with other people whom we hope will help us feel we belong, can exert influence, and are worthy of affections. So those things, class, if we feel that we belong, we can have this greater influence to someone. And if we have this greater influence to someone, we will become worthy. Okay? Hindi tayo magkakaroon ng tinatawag nating self-pity dahil alam natin that we are worthy to be loved and to love, okay, by other people. And of course, the affection that we should really feel. So, yun lamang, and I hope we choose to really love each day despite of the bad things that are happening right now in our life, in our surroundings. We should really choose to commit and to give our 100% in whatever relationship we are having. Okay, that is all for today. At syempre, okay, I would like to share this quote from Everyday Power. Sabi dyan, you can just give up on someone because the situation is not ideal. Great relationships are not great because they have no problem. They are great because both people care enough about other person to find a way to make it work. In a relationship, you should really work it out. Okay? Ang walang perfect relationship last. There is always a problem. There is always a circumstance in it. But then, at the end of the day, you should choose to fight for your relationship. Whatever relationship you have right now, choose to fight for it. Make it work every day. Kaya nga, class, importante, communicate. Communicate lang. Nagkaroon kayo ng disagreement, hindi pagkakaintindihan, mag-usap lang kayo. Usap, usap, usap. Yung laway natin, class, gamitin natin sa mas makabuluhang bagay. Instead of bashing, communicate well with the people you love. Okay? So that is having a great relationship. Okay? And for our activity today, it is a self-assessment of my relationships. Meaning you really have to assess your relationship right now. So this is an equivalent to quiz. Okay, this is a quiz. But then, it is self-explanatory. Okay, I will base your answers according to how you really answer those questions or statement being given to you. So, direction, write this activity in MS Word. Class, ilalagay po sa MS Word. Meaning, naka-word po siya. Hindi nyo po isusulat. Okay? Hindi po isusulat. Ilalagay po sa Word. Okay, MS Word. I'm sure you have MS Word naman sa mga cellphone ninyo or sa laptop ninyo. So you would just copy and answer the following statement or questions about relationship. Okay? Number 1, sabi dyan, describe your relationship with the following. I-describe mo siya isa-isa. Family, friends, romantic relationship, optional if you have. Kung wala kang ka-romantic relationship right now dahil malamig ang yung relationship, pwedeng hindi mo to sagutan. Pero kung meron naman and you would like to describe it, okay lang din naman. Basta ang malaga, yung A and B ay masagutan mo. Okay po? Next is, which relationship, so meaning, the question number 2 is related to question number 1, okay? Which relationship do you consider as the most important one? Alin daw doon yung pinakamahalaga? What makes you value this relationship more than others? So you have to defend why that kind of relationship is the most important one. Okay? And number 3 is that, what do you think are the qualities to sustain a relationship? Ano yung mga bagay na sa tingin mo dapat meron sa isang relationship para masustain ito? Okay, so answer it as honest as you can, and of course, please answer it in an English format. Okay? So, kindly attach this to our Google Classroom, itong activity na to. Okay, so kung wala na pong tanong, maraming salamat po sa pakikinig ninyo. Abangan nyo po ang ating next Relationship 101 topic dahil ito ay may part 2 pa. Okay, so that is all for today. Thank you and God bless.